The risk of getting excited about circular economy is that we focus on creating materials as feedstock that are ultimately waste, an indicator of low efficiency from other processes. So not only are we interested in effectively managing waste, creating a circular economy, recovering resources, we're also really interested in how do we actually be really efficient around how we use the resources that we have at our disposal. But in doing all of that work, it's really easy to forget the fact that waste is just an indicator of really inefficient use of resources. So if we're generating waste, we should really be thinking about, well, what's the problem with our system? What could we be doing differently? That means we're more efficient, means we're generating less of this material that requires management. A really good example of that is, can we design buildings to use standard materials? So as simple as a sheet of plasterboard rather than having to cut that up and create waste in the process. You could also think about deconstruction of buildings rather than demolition of buildings, so we're recovering reusable materials. Can we make sure that we're using the food that we actually buy rather than wasting it, making leftovers rather than just throwing it out because it goes off in the fridge? So lots of opportunities to think a lot smarter around how we operate. So look, a really good example of just thinking a little bit differently around the materials that we've got at our disposal is the work that has been done by the Purchas Alliance. So they're busy doing a major redevelopment across Auckland, removing about 7,000 houses to make room for about 30,000 new homes. So in removing those houses, the default assumption was that they would just be demolished. But what Kaingaora Purchas have worked really hard on is identifying different ways that we can use the materials that are available within those houses. So a huge percentage of those houses have been relocated, so we've reused the buildings for their original purpose, just in a different location. They're also actively deconstructing homes, so we're gathering native timbers and those sorts of things, reusing those materials. So all of a sudden we've shifted from those buildings being a problem we need to get rid of to those buildings being a source of resources that we can get huge value out of. Great example of a range of different people thinking differently and delivering great outcomes for New Zealand.